Why Europe's geography makes zero sense.
I told you that one of the most developed continents on Earth is home to a primeval rainforest, and a country that had no mosquitoes until 2025. Or that the world's smallest nation sits on the same continent as the world's most densely populated. From an army that famously gained a soldier during a war, to a single river that flows through 10 different countries. Here are 15 incredible geography facts you never knew about Europe. And we're going to start with the land that makes up this peninsula of peninsulas. Geographically, Europe isn't a separate continent in the way Australia or North America are. It's technically the far western end of the massive Eurasian supercontinent. And what truly defines it is its incredibly long, irregular, and fractured coastline. This is why it's often called the Peninsula of Peninsulas. Think about it. The main body of Europe is a large peninsula jutting out from Asia. But that landmass is itself made up of smaller, major peninsulas. You have the Scandinavian Peninsula in the north, the Iberian Peninsula in the south, the Italian Peninsula, and the Balkan Peninsula. This unique shape has profoundly influenced its history of fostering distinct nations in semi-isolated ways. Despite its massive...
What's second smallest continent? Is Australia smaller?
And disproportionate impact on world history, Europe is shockingly small. By land area, it's the second smallest continent on Earth,
or is Antarctica
with only
smaller?
Australia being smaller.
Australia.
In fact, the entire continent of Europe covers about 10 million square kilometers, which is only slightly larger than the single country of Canada or the United States. This small size makes its cultural and linguistic diversity even more remarkable. Dozens of nations, each with their own languages and ancient histories, are packed tightly together. This geographic compression has been a primary driver of its history, fueling intense trade, intellectual exchange, innovation, and, famously, centuries of conflict. The very idea of it being a separate continent from Asia is more of a cultural distinction, first made by the ancient Greeks, rather than a clear-cut geographic one.
European
when you hear
rainforest,
you probably picture the Amazon or the Congo, not the Balkans. But Europe is home to one of the last and largest remaining primeval forests on the continent.
Trying to guess where it's at before he gets to it. Like southeast of Slovenia, maybe? Or like south of, I don't know, of Austria? I have no idea. Or is it up north farther?
Located in Bosnia and Herzegovina. This forest, part of the Sutjeska National Park, is a rare window into what Europe looked like thousands of years ago. Primeval means it has remained almost entirely untouched by human industry. It's a dense, ancient woodland with towering beech and black pine trees, some over 60 meters tall and 300 years old. It's also a biodiversity hotspot, providing a protected sanctuary for bears, wolves, and countless plant species. The forest also features the stunning 75-meter Skakavak waterfall. In a continent so thoroughly shaped by human hands for millennia, Peručica is a precious living piece of natural history. For travelers looking for the perfect summer escape, Iceland offers a unique perk. It's one of the only countries in the world with no native mosquito population. While other northern regions like Greenland, Siberia, and neighboring Scandinavia are plagued by swarms of them, Iceland has remained blissfully bite-free, mostly. It's not just that it's cold. The reason is its unique and unstable maritime climate. Mosquito larvae require a period of stable, continuous cold to hibernate in frozen winter, followed by a stable thaw to mature. Iceland's weather is too volatile. It experiences rapid freeze and thaw cycles, even in midwinter, which constantly interrupts the mosquito life cycle before it can be completed. The island's water chemistry is also unfavorable. However, due to a warming climate, things are changing for Iceland, as it was just announced that 3 stowaway mosquitoes that arrived by freight shipping appeared to withstand the normally hostile environment. So Iceland might not be a mosquito-free country for long.
That's too bad.
Forget climbing mountains. Some of the most extreme expeditions in Europe go straight down. The continent is home to the deepest known cave on Earth, the Krubera Cave, located in the Arabica Massif in the Abkhazia region of Georgia.
Really? I had no idea, and I'm like really interested in caves. I had no idea it was in Europe. I thought the deepest one was in, I think, Mexico. There's that one that people like jump into, but maybe it doesn't go that deep.
A country at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. This isn't just a cave, it's an inverted Everest. Explorers have mapped this subterranean giant to a staggering depth of 2,224 meters. To put that in perspective, that's deep enough to submerge 7 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of each other. This world record was a result of decades of grueling expeditions by international teams of speleologists who faced flooded chambers, tight passages, and the immense logistical challenge of exploring so far below the surface.
God
it's
damn,
a vast,
dude.
complex network that pushes the limits of human endurance. Europe is an incredible continent. I've been here since November exploring all of the very weird places in Europe, like Gibraltar and Ceuta, Spain, which is Europe, but only it's also in Africa. And I'm also here to check out their world-famous Christmas markets, and to figure out why Europe is so obsessed with them. And that's why I think you should go subscribe to my travel channel, Geolax. Over the past year, I've been to Japan, Australia, Singapore, Armenia, and so many more countries. And next year, I'm off to even more places like Guatemala and Iceland. In each episode, I talk about the geography and history of the place, in addition to showing you just the general experience of being in that country. It's a travel vlog.
That's pretty cool. I might have to check that out.
So go subscribe to GeoLex and join me on my travels around the world. You can find a link in the description below. Now, let's get back to some more fun European geography facts.
World's oldest
Nestled
republic.
high in the Apennine Mountains and completely surrounded by Italy, the Republic of San Marino holds the title of the world's oldest surviving sovereign state and republic. According to legend, it was founded in the year 301 by a Christian stonemason named Marinus, who was fleeing persecution from the Roman emperor. He and a small community took refuge on Mount Titano, establishing a community based on freedom and faith. How did it survive for so long while empires rose and fell around it? The answer is pure geography. Its location was isolated, mountainous, and easily defended. Yet it was also poor and offered little incentive for invasion. It skillfully navigated the complex politics of the Italian peninsula, even gaining protection from figures like Napoleon. Today, it remains a proud, independent microstate with a unique government.
I had no idea.
There's an old saying, God created the world, but the Dutch created the Netherlands. This isn't an exaggeration.
I think I've heard that before.
It's a statement of geographic fact. A remarkable 1/4 of the Netherlands is at or below sea level, and about half the population lives in these low-lying areas. Most of this land, known as a polder, was painstakingly reclaimed from the sea, lakes, and marshes over centuries. The process was an incredible feat of engineering. The Dutch first built massive earthen-like dams to wall off a section of water, then used windmills and later steam and electric pumps to drain the land dry, revealing new, fertile soil. This constant, high-stakes battle against the water has defined the Dutch character and landscape. The entire province of Flevoland, for example, is the largest artificial island in the world and was almost entirely reclaimed from the sea in the 20th century.
I didn't know that that was the largest man-made island in the world. For some reason, I don't know why. Well, I feel like we covered that area in the Netherlands, but I don't remember that fact.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is one of the most famous architectural failures in history, but the clue to its problem might have been right there in its name all along. Construction on the bell tower began in 1173 in the city of Pisa, a name some believe to be potentially derived from an ancient Greek word meaning marshy land. The architects built the tower's foundation on a dense, unstable, and waterlogged patch of silt and sand, and the lean began almost immediately. By the time builders finished the third story, the unstable soil on one side had begun to compact, and the tower...
Can you imagine the architects or engineers working on that building back then? They're working on the third floor. They'll stand back. Shit. I don't even want to know what happened to them.
Started to tip. They tried to compensate by making the column shorter on the sinking side, but the lean only worsened over the next 800 years. While the exact etymology of the city name might be uncertain, this was clearly a classic case of historic geography being ignored.
I gotta see that.
The microstate of Liechtenstein, nestled in the Alps between Switzerland and Austria, is a testament to peaceful geography. Its last military engagement, during the Austro-Prussian War of 1866, ended with one of the strangest facts in military history. The Principality sent out an army of 80 men to guard a mountain pass. They saw no combat and spent their time enjoying the Italian scenery. When the war ended, the army marched home, but they returned with 81 men. They hadn't taken a prisoner. They had simply made a friend. an Italian man who liked them so much, he decided to return to Liechtenstein with them. This non-event perfectly captured the spirit of the nation. Just 2 years later, in 1868, Liechtenstein completely disbanded its army, deeming it an unnecessary expense. It has remained a nation of official neutrality ever since. Barcelona's magnificent La Sagrada Familia is a marvel of architecture, but it's also a monument to epic construction timelines. The church, designed by the legendary Antoni Gaudi, officially began construction in 1882. It's still not finished to this day, over 140 years later. To put this in perspective, historians and engineers estimate that the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the wonders of the ancient world, was completed in roughly 20 to 30 years. This means the Sagrada Familia has already been under construction for more than 4 times as long as an ancient pyramid. So why has it taken so long? The project has been funded entirely by private donations, and its progress was severely interrupted by the Spanish Civil War, during which Gaudi's original models were destroyed. Furthermore, the sheer complexity of his revolutionary design, which avoids straight lines, has required generations of craftspeople to slowly bring to life.
Aren't they doing it by, maybe this isn't the building, but aren't they trying to not use, what is it, like modern technology to build it? Like they're trying to do it the old way? Maybe I heard that about a different building, but correct me if I'm wrong.
The world's smallest sovereign state is hidden in plain sight, right in the heart of Rome, Italy. Vatican City is an independent city-state and the global headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church. It's impossibly small, covering just 0.17 square miles, making it about 1/8 the size of New York's Central Park. It also has the world's smallest population at only around 800 people, mostly clergy and the iconic Swiss Guards. Despite its minuscule size, it operates as a fully independent nation. The Vatican mints its own euros, which are highly sought after by collectors, prints its own stamps, issues its own passports, and has its own media outlets and bank. It's a modern-day demonstration
for 800
of how
people?
immense global influence can be concentrated in a tiny, unique geographic space.
As the American Pope.
Just a short trip down the coast from Italy, Europe holds another record for population extremes, the Principality of Monaco. While Vatican City is the smallest by area, Monaco is the most densely populated sovereign state on Earth. This tiny microstate on the glamorous French Riviera packs nearly 40,000 residents into an area of just over 2 square kilometers. To cope, Monaco has become a vertical country
so small.
with skyscrapers and luxury apartments built straight up the steep hillsides overlooking the Mediterranean. Why is it so crowded? For decades, Monaco has been a famous tax haven, attracting the world's wealthiest individuals with its policies of low or no income tax. This has created an extraordinary concentration of wealth and people, all competing for a sliver of highly desirable, sun-drenched land.
Monaco looks wild. I can't wait to go see that as well. I don't know if I'll be able to afford it. Same thing with like Liechtenstein or Switzerland. I'm going to be really holding on to my wallet when I come to those places.
Rivers are the lifeblood of continents, but no river on Earth crosses more international borders than the Danube. While the Nile or Amazon may be longer, the Danube is one of the world's most international rivers, flowing through or forming the border of 10 different countries. Starting in Germany's Black Forest, it journeys southeast for 2,850 kilometers before emptying into the Black Sea. Its path takes it through Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova, and Ukraine. For centuries, this mighty river has been a critical artery for trade, migration, and culture. It served as the northern frontier for the Roman Empire and a strategic lifeline for the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires. It links major capitals like Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, and Belgrade, acting as a liquid highway that both unites and divides this incredibly diverse part of the world. Switzerland may be famously landlocked, but it's one of the most water-rich countries in the world. Its stunning alpine landscape is dotted with over 1,500 lakes, from the massive expanse of Lake Geneva to thousands of tiny crystal-clear mountain tarns. This aquatic abundance is a direct gift of the last ice age. As massive glaciers carved their way through the Alps, they gouged out deep valleys and basins. When the ice retreated, these depressions filled with meltwater, creating the lake system we see today. The geography is so dense with water that no matter where you stand in Switzerland, you are never more than 16 kilometers away from a lake. This feature is central to Swiss life.
That's a crazy statistic.
Some of the cleanest drinking water in the world, generate hydroelectric power, and are the stunning centerpiece of the nation's tourism industry. The European Union is a unique political and economic entity, and its approach to language is just as unique. The EU has 24 official and working languages, a policy that reflects...
That's wild, because we just did a linguistics video just a couple of days ago, and it was the major language families. I think there were 8 of them, maybe 10 of them. I'm happy to know that there are actually 24 official languages, though. I don't know how you guys do it, man. No wonder you guys have to learn 5 different languages.
Its core motto, united in diversity. This isn't just a symbolic gesture, it's a legal requirement. Unlike countries like the United States, which has no official language at the federal level, the EU guarantees that every member state's primary language is respected. This means any EU citizen can write to the European Parliament in, say, Polish, and they are entitled to a reply in Polish. All major legislation must be translated and published in all 24 languages to be legally binding. This commitment creates one of the world's largest translation and interpretation industries, employing thousands in Brussels and Luxembourg, all to ensure that no culture gets lost in the political shuffle. Europe is incredible in so many more ways than I've listed here. Germany, France, Spain, Italy, the United Kingdom, all mostly missing from this video, which is a testament to just how much more there is to say about the continent. And if you happen to live in one of those countries, don't worry, you'll get your very own 15 facts video.
All right, so he's going to do a separate one on those. You know what's crazy is I know we actually don't cover the UK that much. Maybe I need to do a little bit more from there. I just never get too many recommendations, but that was really interesting. There was some insane facts that I had no idea were real. And yeah, now I know. All right, going to go ahead and end it there. Appreciate you guys watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.